Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. This is a men's channel with men's content. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not for you. Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, especially to the gentlemen out there. People don't understand how hard it is to be a man, especially the modern day black woman. You see, a lot of us men are just trying and struggling to get to the morning. We're trying to make it through the night because it's so hard to be at home by yourself, wrestling with all types of different thoughts of disappointments, thoughts of anger, thoughts of betrayal. There are a lot of men that I talk to, excuse me, my hat messing up, that are hurt, that are disappointed because they put their love and their trust in a woman. A woman can destroy you. A woman can crush you. And a lot of women do this act of disposing of good men as if they meant nothing, simply because they are selfish, simply because they are self-entitled. It is hard for a man to struggle in this world. It is hard for a man to lose his family in a divorce, to lose his children, to lose the dream that he had of having a happy family. But today, modern day black woman has no issues destroying that dream. They have no problems hurting a man. And a lot of times men find themselves in a situation where they're at home by themselves, absent of the children's laughter, absent of the wife's affection, absent of the family, because it's been destroyed by a woman. And they cannot reach out to friends. They cannot reach out to family. Sometimes men go through these hurtful moments in their lives late at night, in the twilight hours. I'm talking about 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, when everyone else is asleep with their own wives or with their own friends or with their own families. Sometimes a man cannot reach out to a person. And in those moments, a man can even consider deleting himself, ending his own life because a woman took away everything that was precious to him. Women will walk away from you, gentlemen. Even after you have given them the world, even after you have given them the best pieces of yourselves, they will leave you simply because they are bored or simply because they want something else in them streets. But they always come back. The majority of them do. But they may come back years later, months later, after the damage is done. Don't accept them back. But what I'm saying is, that moment when you're by yourselves in your homes, gentlemen, and you're hurting, when you're drinking, when you're smoking, when you're thinking the wrong types of thoughts, these are the moments where men struggle to see the morning. Because that night can be so cold when you're by yourself. That night can be so horrible when you're by yourself. You see, not everybody is a super player type of guy. And I'm not one of those content creators that's going to tell you man up in these situations, because being a man is also being able to feel. We all have feelings. And I understand because I counsel men. I talk to men when I'm coaching them or when they ask me for advice and they tell me of their heartaches and their pains and their disappointments in women. Crying, hurt, strong men, because they have had their hearts broken by the woman that they love. A lot of you ladies don't understand what it is to be a man or to walk in a man's shoes. And a lot of you don't have enough pity for a man. I'm not saying that you need to feel sorry for a man. But if that man is a good man, a decent man, and he's done everything he can for you, and you just so easily dispose of him, what does that say about your own character? You would never be happy. You would never be satisfied if you leave a decent man for a pookie. You will never be happy. You will never be satisfied if you leave a man for a bag or just for sexual pleasure, because all that stuff runs out. And these men who you have left in pieces, these men that are broken now, traumatized by you, are just struggling to make it through the night to see the morning sun. Hurt. How do a man bounce back from that? Some men cannot. Some men do. Some men end their own lives because their families are gone. See, this is why I tell you, gentlemen, to validate yourselves and to love yourselves and never put a woman over yourself. Never put a woman on a pedestal, because the moment you put her on a pedestal, that's when your world is going to go to crap. That's when she's going to crush your world. She's not God. You don't worship a woman. A lot of men, a lot of gentlemen try to worship a woman because they believe that's the right thing to do, to treat a woman with all respect, to treat a woman as if, she's the next thing that's better than bread. No, you got to love yourselves, man. Put yourselves first and everything else next. Put God first, you first, your wife first, your children next. Not your wife first, but you know what I'm trying to say. Some of you never knew the woman that you was with. You thought you knew her. You thought that you knew her. That's why I never listen to a woman who tells me about her ex. Because in the beginning, gentlemen, you actually believe her when she tells you that her ex did her wrong, because you loved her. Because you didn't see that she would be so vindictive or lie about somebody, because the person that she was presenting to you seemed like an angel. You never think that she would lie about an ex-boyfriend. She would say that he hit her, disrespect her, or whatever she would have said about him, right? But then you break up with her, or she breaks up with you. Then she tells the next man or her family and friends about how rotten you are. And you know damn well you wasn't a rotten man. You know you was a good man to her. You see, you never get to see that side of that woman until she leaves you. When she leaves you, then you start to see how evil she is, how wicked she is. She'll tell her friends that you never spent money on. And you know it's a lie. She'll tell her friends that you wasn't sexing her good. She'll tell her friends that you were cheating on her. She'll tell her friends and family and next boyfriend all these evil things about you that you know is a lie. She does these things just to make herself look better in the eyes of other people, because she knows she's a failure. And she doesn't want them to see her as a failure who failed in a good relationship with you, gentlemen. You see, women care more about their friends' opinions of them than they do you. They would rather them admire her instead of her admiring you. But most times, her friends already know what type of woman she is, and they'll agree with her. Oh, yeah, girl. Yeah, he must have been this type of monster. But they know who she is and what she's about, and they're like, oh, she lying. She must have messed it up like she do every other relationship. Gentlemen, those of you who have been thrown away, those of you who have been disposed of, I want you to be encouraged, especially the gentlemen who are going through a divorce, especially the gentlemen who have lost everything and feel like there's nothing else to live for. You can make it to the next morning, man. You can make it. It just takes the passage of time to overcome the hurt that she has traumatized you with. Some of these women do not care about how they shatter a man. They do not care about how they break you down. Gentlemen, you are worth seeing another sunrise. Them hours when you cannot talk to nobody, when you can't text nobody, when you can't call nobody, you have to be strong. Because women have caused men to off themselves. There are men who have taken their own lives because a woman did not want him. Women are not worth your life. I want you to appreciate yourself for who you are and look at the things that you have accomplished in your life. And if you are a gentleman who have not accomplished much, just understand that you still have time to accomplish many other things. A woman should not define you. A woman should be an option. A woman should not be the definition of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of gentlemen out here that's just fighting and trying to see the morning, because that night is terrible for them. That night when they're by themselves is horrible with them. And banging a whole bunch of women don't take away that pain because you had an emotional attachment with that woman. You have to get over it through the passage of time. You have to stay busy. Do not give up on yourselves because a woman gave up on you. You did everything that you were supposed to do. And you know it. You gentlemen who know that you did everything you could. It's not you, it's her. She was the problem. Don't sell yourself short. There are plenty of men who are sitting right here, right now, in their homes, just trying to make it to the morning. Because when the night comes upon you, in the late wee twilight hours, you're not as active. You're not as busy as you would be throughout the day. You don't have nothing to really distract you from the pain and the hurt that you're feeling. You try, but it still nags at you. It will go away. Again, a lot of us are just trying to make it to the morning. We're just trying to make it to the next sunrise. A woman can put her hooks in you so much and rip you apart so much that your masculine energy is everywhere else. You feel weak. She done drain you of your masculine energy. She has drained you of your faith in self and your self-esteem. You can make it. My channel is a men's channel. You have to be strong. Make it to the morning. And each morning that comes after that, you will find more strength. You don't need her, man. I know you may have children. You got to do the best you can for your kids. I know she broke your heart. I know she fractured your world. But you can get it. You can get through the night, man. You can get through the night. It feels like you can't, but you can, man. You can. And don't try to ease your pain with alcohol and drugs or whatever it is that you may do. I ain't saying don't drink a little bit, but don't make those things a crutch. You have to feel before you heal, and you have to deal with the pain. Own your feelings. If you feel sad, if you miss her, if you miss the family, own that and say, look, this is what I feel. This is real. That way you can get over it. But when you try to push it in the back of your mind and distract yourself entirely, it will come back and it will come back and it will overwhelm you. Take it a little bit at a time. I understand how it feels to be by yourself. I understand how it feels to be crushed. I know how it feels to be betrayed. Because when you're with a woman that you cared about and loved, she got to see the best parts of you. You reveal so many things to her that you don't reveal to other people. She knows some of your secrets. She knows some of the secrets, darkest stuff about you. You trusted her. You was connected to her. You believed in her. You believed in what it was that you thought you was going to have with her. You believed it. It was an ideal world in your mind, how things were supposed to be. You imagined it because men are logical. We are structured. So we believe things should go a certain way a lot of the time. We are very analytical with our mindsets. But she came to you with something that was so irrational. Something that blew your mind. Something that pulled the rug out from underneath your feet. You fell and you feel like you've been falling ever since. Listen to me, gentlemen. Make it through this night. You can make it to the morning, because that's where we are in our lives. A lot of men, we are just trying to see the next day, because the day that we are in right now is painful, it hurts, and is full of torment. And a lot of times it's because we chose the wrong woman to be with, and she has given us this trauma. Now we are responsible with the traumas that we have. We need therapy. We got to heal. Doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. It doesn't mean that you're a weak man because you need to heal. Everybody on this planet, boys, girls, men, women, get hurt. We all get betrayed some way. We're never always up and happy. Life is a roller coaster of ups and downs. So I want you to be strong. Try. Just get through it. Get through the night and see that morning sunrise. Don't give up hope. Talk to you later.